Beaumaris Theatre has been producing plays and musicals in Bayside, Melbourne for almost 70 years. Keyt is a long-term member, often a director, and she's the company secretary, and she's here to talk to us a bit more about Beaumaris Theatre. Deb, can you tell us a little bit about Beaumaris Theatre?
Beaumaris Theatre started in 1953 when an English couple emigrated from England out to Australia in the new suburb then, that was Beaumaris Theatre, where a lot of artists were residing because it was a beachside suburb that wasn't too far away from the city. And the Martins, as they were, Angela and Bill, built a house in Cromer Road, Beaumaris, called Talbot House. And Angela was a thespian, she was an actress, and her husband was a shop fitter. So when they were building the house, she said to Bill, "Can you build me a theatre in the attic?" So he did, because he could. And they had a lot of thespian friends in the area as well. So a lot of their friends from England had come out here as well. And they used to put on shows in the attic of Talbot House in Cromer Road in Beaumaris. And the shows were extremely successful. It was a 20-seater. The theatre was only sat 20 people. And, of course, they exceeded their demands really well and truly. So people just were wanting to come and see their shows because they were putting on great quality English comedies, and it was just not enough room. So that was at the time when they said, okay, to the then Beaumaris, I think not Bayside Council back then, but I think it was the Beaumaris Advancement League, I think, or something along those lines. They said, can you build us a theatre? So they built the theatre in Wells Road, which opened in 1958.
Beaumaris seems to be one of the few theatre companies that has its own premises, certainly in Metro Melbourne. How important do you think that is to what you do?
Incredibly important. We are so lucky, and we're also very mindful of how lucky we are.
What else do you think makes Beaumaris Theatre different to other community theatre companies in the area?
Look, I don't know what makes us different, but I suppose just what makes us special, and I guess every company has this, is it's the people that surround the theatre, and each company has their core group of good people who are all obviously thespians and love what we do and passionate about what we do. And I guess it's the personalities that make up each theatre company. So, and as I said, like, you know, people like MLOC who do just exclusively musical theatre, and Clock and Ploss and companies like that. And then we're like, there are the Morty Alex and the Brightons and the Malverns who just do the plays. We've now branched into that we do both. And obviously with the scale of musicals that we do, we have to be careful not to overextend ourselves because we have got an intimate space, and we obviously can't put in a big orchestra or things like that. But we try to choose musicals that suit our venue. So I suppose that, in answer to your question, but after backtracking around there a little bit, what makes us unique is the fact that we do both musical theatre and non-musical theatre, I guess, and our people. We love our people. We've got some great people at Beaumaris Theatre.
How did you get involved with Beaumaris?
I got involved in Beaumaris in 1996. I auditioned for Table Manners. My youngest baby at that stage was 2, so it was sort of like I'd had a few years off after having children. I thought, time to get back on stage. So Beaumaris was my local company, and I'd been to see a few shows there because a friend of a friend was a director at Bowie. So I'd been to see a couple of shows there and was really impressed with the quality and the calibre of the shows they were doing. So I auditioned for Table Manners. I was terrified because going into any company that is new to you and you don't know is always a little bit scary. And as I said, when I'd been off stage for a few years, it's always like, oh, am I going to be able to do this? Am I still going to be able to do this? So I did get the role. There was 3 female roles in Table Manners. There were 4 females at the audition, and I walked out of there thinking, I'm not going to be one of those 3. Those other 3 ladies are going to get it, you know, like it's going to be fine. And when I got the phone call to say that I was in, I was thrilled. Started as an actress. Then I fell into directing. I think I've always knew I wanted to be a director. And at the time, the president, Jeff, asked me would I direct a show he had seen called Return to the Forbidden Planet. And I didn't know a lot about it. He sent me a script. I read it. I loved it. And I thought, oh, yes, I think I really could do this. I think this would be a nice thing to cut my teeth on. And I did. And once I did that, I realised that directing was where I wanted to be. And as much as I love acting, directing is my comfort zone and where I feel really comfortable.
Deb, what have you got coming up?
We are in the middle of Anne and Gilbert. So that is what I'm directing. So we had the auditions in February. We started rehearsals in February. And then, of course, you know, the corona thing, there was lots of talk, and it was like, you know, how are we going to go? Where are we going to get? And our cast, I could see we're all very nervous all through February, March. We kept hearing numbers and things like that. And of course, you know, things became the way they came during March. So we had a little chat to the committee at the end of March saying, well, I think we're going to have to pull the pin on this show and all shows for the year. So we then had our next rehearsal the next day, and it actually worked out really well for us because we got to the end of blocking Act 1. So we were in a really nice spot that we said to the cast, okay, this is what we're going to do. There was a few tears, there was lots of sad faces, but we were kind of like, this is not never, this is just not now. So we said we are keeping this cast in place. We're going to keep you all connected for the next 12 months. And for those of you who can, we're going to be back here again come February next year, and we're going to pick right up where we left off, and we're going to go on. So I wrote to Origin straight away, organised the rights for 12 months hence. So we are in hiatus. So we've got our nice little Facebook group, and I'm giving them creative challenges every week, once a month, every now and then, just to keep them all connected. We've had a few Zoom get-togethers. We're planning a picnic at the end of the year when gatherings are allowed again, just to keep everybody back. And fingers crossed, we'll keep the cast together. And come February, we'll be back rehearsing. We'll go over everything we did in Act 1 again, because it would have been a long time between rehearsals, and then we'll just continue on. So that's what I'm doing currently. So Anne and Gilbert is the continuing story of Anne of Green Gables, which is a beautiful literary piece known to many fans and devotees of Lucy Maud Montgomery. And we did the original Anne of Green Gables back in 2008. And a very good friend of mine, Linda French, went to Canada a couple of years ago and saw the musical of Anne and Gilbert, which is the next two novels combined. And she wrote to me and said something she would really love us to do. So, yeah, we put the wheels in motion, and it's a beautiful piece with lots of lovely original music. We've been in touch with the writers in Canada. We've been in touch with the Guild Theatre, who also stage it over there, and lots of communication between them. So, and we've got a fabulous cast. I mean, all directors say that, but we really and truly have. So we're looking forward to getting back.
And obviously Beaumaris Theatre is not just what people see on stage. There's a whole heap of stuff that goes on in order to bring those shows to stage. How can people watching this now get involved in Beaumaris Theatre?
We are there basically every Saturday, set building, doing maintenance on the theatre and things like that. At the moment, obviously not yet, but we will be back again, you know, towards the end of the year. We might have small groups coming in doing a few jobs that need doing before we get back and up and running. But as of next year, we're hoping to be back. People can come along on a Saturday. They can come and meet us. They can come and have lunch with us, pick up a paintbrush, do some painting, do some cleaning, do some sewing, get involved front of house, behind the scenes, tech things. We provide full training. So if people really want to learn how to do something, we'll make sure they are mentored to do it, and with the best people that, you know, we have working for us. So there's so many ways. So we just encourage people to come along, have a chat to us, tell us where their interests lie, and, you know, maybe help them step out of their comfort zone a little bit.
Congratulations for everything that you're doing and everything that Beaumaris is doing, and thank you so much for joining me today.
My absolute pleasure, Andrew. Thank you so much for having me.